Happening now, the search continues for Grant Hardin. The Arkansas Department of Corrections telling us this afternoon that they still have not located this inmate. He was serving time for a deadly shooting and a rape that happened in Benton County. 5 News reporter Lauren Spencer begins our team coverage live in Calico Rock now with where search efforts continue. What does it look like out there right now, Lauren, where you are?
Yeah, Darren, if anyone's trying to get into Calico Rock or out of Calico Rock, you're going to have to pass through some officers. This is one of the many checkpoints across roads across the county. Police are opening trunks, asking questions, searching vehicles, and trying to find any information on Grant Hardin. Hardin has now been on the run for over 48 hours. Rand Champion with ADC told us this morning that Hardin has still not been found. He says there's a number of law enforcement agencies involved in this active search. We know that the crews have been working through these rainy and foggy conditions to locate Hardin. Those efforts include these checkpoints, searches with drones, as well as canine units. We know that Hardin was an officer in Huntsville and Eureka Springs, a constable in Benton County, a correctional officer at the Northwest Arkansas Community Correction Center, and a chief in Gateway. Rand says that Hardin's background in law enforcement could make things tricky for investigators.
It adds a different challenge for sure than a regular inmate. Again, this is somebody who has that training, has that specialized understanding of, the different tactics that are being used and, even the way that they talk to each other,
Very little new information has been released by authorities today, but we are keeping in close updates with ADC for any new information that comes out. But if you do have any information on Hardin, you're urged to contact law enforcement. In Calico Rock, covering news where you live, Lauren Spencer, 5 News.
All right, Lauren, thank you. Our team coverage continues now, hearing from Gateway Mayor Cheryl Tillman, the sister of James Appleton. He's the man that Hardin killed in 2017. 5 News reporter Kayla Davis picks up our continuing coverage at Gateway City Hall with more now on how Tillman's reacting to this week's escape. Kayla?
Tillman says while you never truly heal, this news of his escape has sent her and her family all the way back to the beginning stages of the healing process after nearly 8 years of progress. They say while they are anxiously waiting for law enforcement to bring him back into custody, she still has some unanswered questions. Cheryl Tillman says her phone kept ringing Sunday evening. When she finally answered,
it just seemed like my heart just quit beating.
The Arkansas Department of Corrections told her Grant Hardin, the murderer of her brother James Appleton, had escaped from prison. Hardin shot Appleton back in 2017 after pulling up beside him in Garfield and shooting him through the car window. Now that Hardin is out, Tillman says she's fearful he'll come back for more.
I'm scared for everybody, especially myself, my sister, my husband, they all work together. We were on that council that fired him.
Tillman recalls erratic behavior from Hardin back then.
He was very angry. He would chase people for no reason. He pulled a gun on somebody out on the ridge out there, and shouldn't have never happened. He ran a kid off the road and wrecked his car. Shouldn't have never happened. So he's just an evil man.
She says she can't wrap her mind around how someone so dangerous could have escaped.
Somebody at that prison wasn't doing their job. Somebody failed our system.
And it shouldn't have been that.
It shouldn't have happened. Shouldn't have never happened.
Mayor Tillman asked that the community remain vigilant during this time until law enforcement catches Hardin. Live in Gateway, covering news where you live. Kayla Davis, 5 News.
All right, Kayla, thanks. Our continuing coverage continues right after this newscast on your 5 News at 6 on 5+. You can stream the full special for free on your smart TV starting at 6:30 in about 25 minutes or so. We're going to share the latest from authorities and hear more now from those impacted by Hardin's crimes. Coverage again starts tonight at 6:30 on 5 News Plus. Well, now to the case we've been following since March. 9 people are facing capital murder charges in connection to the death of Andres Fonseca in Rogers. 5 News reporter Rachel Williams was in the courtroom today, joining us now with the latest developments on this case.
Today in Benton County Circuit Judge Brad Caron's courtroom, pretrial court hearings were held for all but one of the suspects in this case. 9 are facing capital murder charges, and the 10th person is facing charges of soliciting minors to join a gang. Now, majority of the defendants appeared in court today via Zoom. Rogers Police Department says dispatch received multiple calls about the alleged shooting on the 3100 block of South B Street just after midnight on March 8th. Juvenile defendants Aline Rocha, Jared Stills, Jordan Manajano, and Emmanuel Rodriguez all appeared in court today. The suspect, Amy Manajano, did not appear via Zoom today. She had an earlier court date and has another hearing set for July 18th. The hearings for the juvenile suspects who appeared in court today have been reset. They'll now have new omnibus hearings on July 29th at 8:30 a.m. The adult defendants in the case also appeared in court today. Junior Rodriguez, Jesus Rodriguez, Christopher Nicasio, and Tevin Ortiz. Noel Gates is facing charges of soliciting a minor to join a gang, but he has not been charged with capital murder. All defendants are being held at either the Benton County Jail or Juvenile Detention Center. For more details on each of these cases, head to our website, 5newsonline.com. Rachel Williams, 5 News.
All right, Rachel, thank you. You can also follow updates on the cases and find all of our coverage on this case on our free 5 News smartphone app. If you're driving overnight on MLK Boulevard in Fayetteville, you can expect some detours this week. It's all part of the ongoing interchange improvements there at the intersection of I-49. Road crews will be out there from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. for the rest of this week, installing a new beam on the overpass. Westbound traffic will be detoured up to Weddington during those times. Now the work's set to wrap up this Sunday night, of course, weather permitting. Northwest Arkansas National Airport upgrading its parking system that creates a checkout-free experience in the airport's parking lot. XNA is partnering with an artificial intelligence company to make it possible, and anyone traveling through the airport can expect to make parking more efficient and user-friendly.
As you can see behind me, there's a camera at our entry. There is a camera at our exit. The camera records your license plate. It records your car. It can see exactly when you drove in, when you drove out. When you get to the exit, it's going to do the same exact thing. It will say, okay, you were in short term. You were there for 2 days. Here's what the rate card looks like. Drive in, drive out. Don't have to think about anything.
That new system will require you, though, to download an app and then register your vehicle and your payment information.